A female celebrity only wanted a beauty treatment, but accidentally knocked over some beeswax. The scalding hot beeswax splashed directly onto the woman's face. When the beauty salon staff discovered what happened, they were terrified. The beeswax had already rapidly encased the woman's face. The firefighters who rushed to the scene were also shocked. They had to open the woman's airway first so she could breathe. Otherwise, she would quickly suffocate to death. The team medic hurriedly grabbed a scalpel and cut a small opening at the woman's mouth, but they discovered the beeswax had already gotten into her throat. They quickly brought an airway tube and inserted it into the woman's respiratory tract, then put on an oxygen mask. Only then did the woman resume breathing. But how could they remove all this beeswax from her face? This type of beeswax would only soften at temperatures reaching 104 degrees Celsius. It seemed they could only leave it to the hospital to handle. Just then, one of the firefighters recognized the bracelet. This was the celebrity Lisa. Within just 1 month, the firefighters had already rescued her several times. It turned out the female celebrity had spent $200,000 on a Lucky Charm bracelet. But unexpectedly, she nearly died right after putting it on. When firefighters arrived at that earlier scene, they found Lisa had been struck by a falling chandelier. Fortunately, Lisa had no penetrating wounds on her body, just a gash on the back of her head. The urgent priority was to move the lamp, but the sharp cone on the light fixture was deeply embedded in the floor and wouldn't budge. They had to find another solution. Suddenly, Lisa said she couldn't feel her legs. The firefighters immediately sensed trouble. Her spine might be injured. The team quickly brought tools and began cutting the chandelier. The firefighters then rushed Lisa to the hospital. On the way, Lisa told them the story of the bracelet. Her acting career had been going poorly for years, and to change her luck, she had paid a fortune to a mysterious organization for this Lucky Charm bracelet. But unexpectedly, right after putting it on, she was struck by the lamp. And this was just the beginning of her misfortune. A few days later, she simply went to a beauty salon for skincare and nearly suffocated to death when beeswax covered her face. After the firefighters took her to the hospital, they discovered the bracelet had mysteriously appeared in their fire truck. Could the woman's recent streak of bad luck be real? Everyone was afraid to touch that bracelet, fearing the curse might befall them too. But one team member didn't believe it and picked up the bracelet directly. The next second, another firefighter inexplicably fell down. The captain quickly went to check and found gasoline all over the floor. How could there be gasoline in a fire station? This was too strange. After 2 near-death experiences, Lisa no longer believed the bracelet could bring good luck. She went to an antique shop, deciding to exchange it for another Lucky Charm. Soon she spotted a purple crystal and asked her assistant to negotiate the price with the owner while she brought over a ladder to get the crystal down herself. But the moment her hand touched the crystal, she heard her assistant scream. A piece of crystal was embedded in the assistant's abdomen. The shop owner heard the commotion and immediately called for emergency help. Just then, Lisa suddenly felt dizzy, and the owner showed the same symptoms. All 3 mysteriously passed out. When firefighters finally arrived and lifted the woman's hair, they found it was the celebrity Lisa again. Only this time it was her assistant who was injured. Upon examination, they discovered the crystal had pierced through the assistant's stomach. But why had all 3 people fainted? After ruling out gas leaks, the firefighters questioned the awakened shop owner and learned that what had pierced the assistant's abdomen was pyrite.